we have to cover Bitcoin. As you guys can see here, we now have Bitcoin sitting at 77.4K. So we've had a little bit of an increase here inside of Bitcoin since last time. We've bounced off of our 50-day moving average here. So we're going to talk about where Bitcoin is heading to next. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice. But look at what we're doing right here. We are up 0.9% in the last 24 hours on Bitcoin, down 2.6% in the last 7 days. Like I was mentioning before, as you can see, Bitcoin is bouncing off this 50-day moving average, which is our red line right here. And then we have the white line here, which is the 200-day moving average. So it looks like we're heading towards the 200-day moving average. I was talking about this on the previous videos, and it looks like it's coming in to fruition right now. We're not 100% sure if it's going to get all the way up there, because we already did get rejected 3 times at the 200-day moving average. Not just once, 3 whole times at the 200-day moving average, we were rejected. So this is kind of a big deal to see whether or not we get rejected again. And as you can see here on the %R trend exhaustion on the daily chart, we now have the long-term trend starting to curve upwards. But the white line here, the short-term trend, is continuing to go downwards. So we'll see if this trend reverses upwards as well. So that's why we're seeing that pullback right there. And then on the daily chart as well, when you pull up the MACD, you can kind of see that selling pressure is picking up a little bit, but it's starting to slow down just a little bit. Now you can see right here the divergence that we were talking about in the previous videos. We have a lower highs on the MACD right here, while simultaneously getting higher highs. And as we know, I always show this diagram, but it's bearish divergence. So lower highs on the MACD, higher highs on the price on the charts. And now you can see that coming into fruition here, and you can actually see that selling pressure, boom, coming in. Why? Because bearish divergence. So we were getting those higher highs, and we finally got that last higher high, and then you can see how it dumps. But now we're kind of stopping right here. So it makes me wonder, is this like a bear trap, or is this a bull trap? Are we about to trap the bulls and have an extended sell-off like how we did back here on the MACD, or like how we did back here on the MACD, or like how we did back here on the MACD, or maybe here, or maybe here? And you can see I can go all the way back here, and you keep seeing these extended sell-offs because we are still inside of a bear market. So this might not be the only selling wave on the MACD right now for this bearish divergence. We actually might see more selling pressure for our bearish divergence that we're going through. So you got to be very, very cautious at these levels. Honestly, these aren't the type of levels that you want to play around at. Like, honestly, if you are not that well versed right now, or if you just don't have that much time to watch the charts, you just kind of got to stay away from this type of stuff, because, you know, right now this is like the inflection point for this. Like, this is like, it's going to make or break Bitcoin, right? We're going to see, you know, Bitcoin either take off, or we're going to see it dump at this point. But the range that we're watching for, like I was mentioning before, is this range right here. So between 77K and 80.9K. And really, there's only a 4% move right here. So it's like, it's not that big of a deal if you miss the push from here to the 200-day moving average, right? It's like 4%. So it's not that big of a deal. So I would just sit, just wait, just watch, because if it breaks above this and it continues upwards, then you know you can just buy back in. Or if it continues down, then you know you made the right decision pretty much, right? So that's how I'm looking at this, right? Now we can come over here and look at the 4-hour chart, and we can see on the %R trend exhaustion, and this white line, the short-term trend is pumping, and the blue line, long-term trend, is kind of lagging behind. And we see this all the time with the %R trend exhaustion. Whenever that happens, you're going to get that white line, the short-term trend, pulling back to the long-term trend. You're going to see that pullback happen, right? And for example, if you look on the %R trend exhaustion, and we come back here, and this is from about 29th of March all the way up to about the 4th of April. If you look at what happened at that given time, it's probably going to be something alongside of a drop. So as you can see here, the short-term trend comes up, but then it drops because the long-term trend doesn't follow. So what do you see? You see the price drop right back down to the bottom of the bear flag. And again, we're trading within the bear flag, which is a bear signal. So, you know, everything is leaning bearish right now with Bitcoin. So like I said before, I would be extremely careful right now. It's giving a lot of mixed signals, but most signals that Bitcoin is giving are bearish. So we just have to kind of sit back and wait. And then when you pull up the weekly chart here, a little bit different. We're seeing that the weekly chart, we have the % R trend exhaustion is kind of going sideways. It's almost just looking like it's just stuck in an equilibrium space. Like it's just going sideways right now. So we gotta wait and see what happens here for the weekly chart on the percent on trend exhaustion. But when it comes to the MACD, we can see that divergence playing out. So on the weekly chart, I was talking about this before. You're going to see these higher lows, which is bullish divergence, and lower lows on the chart. So higher lows on the MACD, lower lows on the chart. So when you pull this up, you see the higher lows on the MACD here. And then right here, we don't necessarily have lower lows unless we're about to get the next lower low. And that's literally what I've been talking about the whole time. So we're going to see what's going to come up there. I'm going to keep you guys updated. I really just wanted to show you guys today what was going on the 4-hour chart. I think it's very, very important because this buying pressure looks weak. This buying pressure looks weak like it did before. And if it stays weak, then we're not going to have a big breakout, right? Now, it might look like there's a lot of buying pressure, but in a grand scheme of things, when you look at the MACD here, it's not as much as that selling pressure. That selling pressure is way more significant than the buying pressure at the moment. So we're going to see, because we just now had that divergence here on the 4-hour chart, right? We just had the bullish divergence. I mean, higher lows on the MACD and lower lows on the chart. When you look here, higher lows on the MACD. And then when you look down here, we were printing out lower lows on the chart. So it's only right that it does have that buying pressure, but is the buying pressure going to be enough, right? Because we had the bullish divergence, but now is that bullishness going to be enough to push this even higher, right? So we got to wait and see if we get rejected at our 50-day moving average and our 200-day moving average on the 4-hour. So I'll keep you guys posted on that. But in the meantime, I do have a few things I want to look at. So we're at a 39 on the Crypto Fear Greed Index, which is not too bad, right? It's right before neutral, right at fear, right at 39. If it hits 40, I believe that's when it becomes neutral. So, it's almost neutral, but there are some things that aren't as neutral inside the crypto market, right? So Crypto Rover, they post a lot of stuff about Bitcoin. They posted this and it says, Bitcoin rising wedge wouldn't be all too bullish here, just to be honest, right? So this is kind of true. Bitcoin is in a bear flag / rising wedge, right? I'm gonna say / rising wedge, because if you pull up Bitcoin here on the daily, like you can look at it and clearly see like this is clearly a bear flag, right? It's clearly a bear flag. Now they say rising wedge because they're looking at it from a different perspective, and it's all about perspective. It's all about perspective in the crypto market. If you spin it like this, then you're like, oh, well, yeah, this is a rising wedge when you look at it like this. So it's really all about perspective. But either way, rising wedges are bearish signals, right? Bearish patterns. And bear flags are bearish signals. They're bearish patterns. But it lines up way better when you look at it from the perspective of a bear flag. So that's how I'm pretty much looking at it right now. And yeah, I know we broke out up here, so I can just move it up just a little bit because we broke out a little bit right there. But yeah, this is still a bear flag no matter how you want to spin it. So yeah, we'll see what happens. But yeah, I think Crypto Rover is right. Now, this person, Surreal, whatever it is, says, if Bitcoin comes out strong after this weekly sweep, 100K is inevitable. So yes, we have bears that see the technicals, but then we have these super perma bulls that will never go bearish, right? We have super perma bulls that will never go bearish. And I mean, he's not really showing anything technical here. I don't really see anything technical here. I do see he has some type of moving average here and showing that it's going to go all the way up, but I don't see anything technical. He just says buy side liquidity, and it shows some lines with an OB for overbought, I'm guessing. But I'm not seeing anything technical, and he's kind of promoting Kalshi markets right here. So people are betting on Kalshi market that Bitcoin goes up to 100K this year. So 40% chance Bitcoin hits 100K this year, 8% chance it happens next month. That's what people are betting on Kalshi markets about. So it's pretty interesting to see how the bulls and the bears are thinking. Now this person, Crypto Fergani, says Bitcoin has bottomed. Sorry bears, it's over. So this is another perma bull, and they're like, sorry bears, it's over. It's gonna keep going up to 200K this year. That's all by 2027. That's what this person's saying. And then we have this Max Crypto says OG Whale Garrett Bullish has opened a $39 million Bitcoin long with 5x leverage. That's actually a lot But I would just say that this is a gamble. This is a gamble, right? This is a pure gamble. They don't know everything. Not all the whales know everything. All right. Liquidation price at 61K. So that is pretty crazy. But yeah, this is all I got for you guys today. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice. Hit the like button and subscribe, and check out the membership if you want to become a member of the channel. It's only $9.99 per month. And with that, you can have me go over any stock or crypto as long as it's not a low cap scam coin. All you got to do is become a member and then comment on any one of my videos and be like, hey, Marcel, let's go over this, go over that. And then I'll go over for you, do a whole technical analysis. So go ahead and check that out. And as always, I'll be back with another video.